lives, right? And prophecies have gone ahead of you. But sometimes you see that those prophecies just keep hanging. They keep hanging because you've not actually built capacity to be able to sustain that which God has given to you. So you could have a breakthrough today. God could just bless you. Something could come your way. But without capacity, you will not be able to sustain that which has come your way. That's what we're talking about. Capacity helps to sustain what has come your way. Whatever has come your way, you sustain it by capacity. Where capacity is not there, that thing obviously will not last long. So I was talking about capacities, right? Spiritual capacity, you have spiritual capacity. We have intellectual capacity. We have professional capacities. We have professional capacities, right? These capacities we need to build at various levels. Because when God sends you out and when God pushes you out, or when God brings an opportunity, our Father has been talking to us recently about time and chance, right? So what you're doing, he said, what you do today with time will determine what will happen with you when chance comes your way. When chance happens, it is what you are doing today. It is the capacity you are building today that when the opportunity comes tomorrow, that's when it will show that you have been building capacity. But if you're not building capacity today, in whatever aspect of life or even ministry, you will see that when opportunity comes, you will not be able to do anything. You will not be able to produce anything reasonable because capacity is lacking. Intellectual capacity has to do with our ability to understand. Proverbs 24 tells us that it is by wisdom that a house is built. It is by understanding that it is established. And it is through knowledge that its rooms are filled. This shows you that wisdom, understanding, knowledge are capacities that we must have for us to be able to thrive and succeed and excel and become significant in the jobs, in the educations, in the technologies by the year 2040. So we are not only hinging on spiritual capacity, but we want us to also build capacity intellectually, where you sit and think to bring out designs, to bring out patterns, to bring out that which the Spirit of God has for our world today and for the world tomorrow. We're building things that will outlive us. Things that are generational, not just things for us today. And it is by intellectual capacity. So you cannot even build intellectual capacity where you are not even someone who is interested in knowing. You're not inquisitive, you're not interested to build capacity. In fact, if you don't build capacity intellectually, you will not be relevant tomorrow. That's just the truth. It is people who have intellectual capacities. Today we are seeing it. It is people who have intellectual capacities that are ruling the world today. They are the ones bringing out things. But our Father has always told us, he said, we're not of the world. So some of them bring out things through different and various other spirits that sponsor and push. But we have the Spirit of God, which is the best spirit that can give us and drive us to bring out masterpieces that will stand the test of time. So it is by wisdom. The Bible also tells us various places, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Psalms, that wisdom or it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It is the starting point of wisdom. It is the foundation of wisdom. So any wisdom that you have that is not founded in the fear of the Lord, then it is not wisdom. It is folly. It is not wisdom. And it is this wisdom that the same Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 4. It says, seek wisdom. So wisdom is the principal thing. In all you're getting, get wisdom, get understanding. It is relevant for us to be able to push these things, to be able to understand, to be able to sit down, think, read, be inquisitive, know things around you. Our Father has told us, he said, it's not a sin for you to know every aspect of life. Know something about one aspect also. It's not. If they ask you this, you know a little bit about it. If you ask you this, you know a little bit about it. It's not a sin. So we build capacities intellectually. We build our professional capacities too. These are skills. Our mother was talking earlier on and she mentioned competence. Whether she said competence. You must be competent in our professions. In whatever aspects you find yourself, in whatever field you have found yourself, you have to build capacity. The world is fast changing. And the world is fast improving, developing. Where will you be? What are you doing today to be able to situate yourself in the tomorrow that we are trying to craft? That we have a glimpse of where God is taking us to. What are you doing today? If you are in a profession, you sit down to learn, to know more about that profession. I was in court sometimes back, that was about 2 weeks ago, and a man came from Abuja to stand as a witness in court. He's a lawyer too, he's a barrister, but he came as a witness to testify in court. But when questions were being thrown at him, you know that this one has not been practicing in the field of law. So there are certain ways you expect somebody to answer a question because he's a lawyer. So when a lawyer stands in a witness box, you find out that if the person is practicing, he knows what to do and know how to answer things and know how to push his way. But this one was completely lost, but his name was carrying Esquire. It was documents I prepared myself. I've never met him. That was the first time I met him too. But you just know that this one doesn't know. But ask him anything about real estate. So he's into real estate in Abuja. So his certificates, his legal profession, he dumped it aside to do real estate. So ask him anything about real estate. He knows. I'm trying to tell you that we should build capacity in our professions. Where you find yourself, build capacity. Know more about what you are doing. I keep telling those around me, I say, for you to even build capacity in profession or in what you even have interest in, you seek out, there's a way I expect that you should have been thinking. I'm just talking about people that are around me that I speak with. I was speaking with Nandi too about that. I said, you can't be saying you are into hip hop and rap and you don't have a mentor in that gospel sphere of that kind of genre of music that you are looking up to and you are drawing from. You should have somebody you're looking at. That's how you build professional capacities. You don't just build it aloof or on your own. That's what mentorship is about. That's what guidance is about. So you find some professions, they tell you must even do tutelage before you even go out to do anything on your own. When I started practicing, I'll come back and tell daddy, I'll say, this is what Dara did with me. Oh, that's my organ in the office. This is how he just to tax your brain and to see if you understand what's going on. He just push something your way. And he will expect you to respond in this way. So there was a day I flopped, seriously flopped. So I told daddy, I flopped. So he was shocked. He said, Kai, I didn't expect this from you. Very tiny. Even me, before I came to meet him to tell him this was the mistake I did, I knew I had to prepare myself because even me, I didn't believe that I made that kind of mistake. There are mistakes you do that you, a whole me. So that kind of thing. But I'm telling us that you should have people you look up to be able to build capacity even professionally. You mustn't even be, I told Nandi, I said, you mustn't even know the person physically. Mustn't be there physically to know the person. But know that you are drawing from this source. And by the Spirit of God, you know that this is a clean source. I told him, I said, because I love music too. But I don't rap, but I love music. So I told him I was listening to one hip-hop artist like this that called herself a gospel hip-hop artist. Her lyrics clean, nothing bad about it. But my spirit kept telling me not to listen to that person. So it took me time before I even stopped. But I knew that the more I listened to it, the more I knew that I shouldn't be listening to this. Because the Spirit of God was telling me, no, you shouldn't listen to this. So I told you have to be sensitive to know. That one is just a flair for me. I love music. But if you are in a professional place, I'm telling you, if you are looking for somebody, you are in the fashion world, you are whatever you find yourself. You are into makeup, you are into hairstyling, you are into barbing, and all that. You have to look out for people that stand out. And you see how they are doing it. Look for godly people. I know the internet, you may not even know who is a godly person, but by the Spirit of God, God will instruct you on how to go about it. If you are praying to God about it, He will instruct you. One other capacity we must build, because we are talking about corporate wealth. One other capacity we must build is structural capacity. Where there is no structure, nothing stands. Where there is no structure, nothing stands. There will be leakages because there's no structure. It's a gap, it's a loophole that things escape from. So recent, mommy was restructuring her own business. And I was excited, though I didn't tell her, but I was excited because she was saying, she would tell them they should, because of tax, they should block the accounts. I told her no. I knew I was telling her no. But at that point, I didn't want to drive it because it was paining her that she's paying tax in huge amounts. In huge amounts. But I knew why. Because if you shut down that business, we are looking ahead. We are looking into tomorrow. But shortly after that, she still went on to restructure the business. So it means if we have a dream, that is prophesying, he's praying for our businesses, word and prophecy, and he's saying we will be big. He's prophesying over your business, whatever you're doing. If you don't build structural capacity, the prophecy keeps hanging. Because that capacity, that structural capacity, is what will help you scale in your business. We can't continue to do business on the surface. If daddy keeps saying, oh, we'll do business in deep waters, We'll do business. You know, he said he will own ships. Eh? It is prophecy, but we build capacity structurally. What are we doing to ensure that when wealth comes, when opportunity, let me use the word opportunity, when opportunity comes, have you built that capacity to be able to hold that opportunity? Have you built capacity? So even Pastor Tanch, or recent, when he was going to register his business anew and all that, it's because he has a vision. But at that time, he said, the government came and they want to give aids to minors. So he started rushing. In fact, me that was doing the registration for him, that whole week, the portal of CAC locked up. That same week. But it still came out. But I'm saying the opportunity came. It was when the opportunity came that we are trying to now adjust and do what is necessary so that we will fit into the opportunity. God does not trust us like that. God will never trust you. Trust now. He's giving you resources. God will never give you resources. God will never give you wealth when you are not prepared. So sometimes it's even the mercy of God that delays certain kinds of wealth to come our way. Because he wants you to be prepared ahead of time. So you see that statement that Daddy made. When time and chance. What you do with time today. I know a few people that came for the Firebrand conference that hammered to me on that particular statement. Just that statement. What you do with time today will determine what chance will do to you tomorrow. It's a call for us. We need to build capacities. We need to build capacities. As I begin to wrap up, we are talking of corporate wealth. Talking of corporate wealth. And you can't talk of corporate wealth when there's absence of individuals. Like we always know, it is the individuals that help. It's the individuals coming together that form what is called corporate. It's individuals that make it corporate, coming together. And if we are talking of corporate wealth in this season, we're talking of harnessing all our resources, each and every one of us. We have deposits of what God has placed on our inside. So now we're not even just talking about your money. When we say corporate wealth, you think we are saying corporate money. It is not corporate money we are talking of. There are skills, there are talents, there are gifts God has placed on your inside that we want to harness to be able to propagate the kingdom of God accurately in this season. If God has blessed you with ability to speak and be a public speaker, there are people that make money from making voiceovers. Do you know what voiceover is? The person is speaking in the background. You will not even know that this Yaks can come and speak today, or Japheth can come and speak today. But you will not even know. We'll just play something and you hear the person's voice, but you will not know he's the one because his voice over. There are people that make monies like that. Just from that. God has blessed them with voice. That if you hear it, you just stick your ear to it. And be like, this person's voice is sweet to hear. And listen to. Various things God has placed on our inside and has given us. That is why in 2 Corinthians it will tell you, we are not We're not going to say as the hand, I don't need the leg. We need all to come together for us to be able to do what we have to do, for us to be able to move. And in JET 2040, it is corporate wealth that we're talking about. Part of the things God is bringing to us in these early days of JET 2040. This is the end of the morning of JET 2040. God is telling us corporate wealth. What has God placed on your inside that you know it's going to be a blessing for the church and for the kingdom of God? Don't shy away from it. Bring it in. This is where we even display more than displaying out there. This is the place for it. So it's time for us to begin to learn intentionally. In corporate wealth, you can't even talk of corporate wealth without service. You are meant to be a servant. And that's part of the pillars of Gen 2040, right? We are born servants. You can't be talking of corporate wealth and you are not serving. You are serving something. You are a waiter. You have something you are bringing. That's what we're talking about. So we begin to learn intentionally, begin to serve faithfully, and we build patiently. It is not built in one day. Capacity is not even gotten in one day. It takes process, it takes time. That is why we start now. If you've not started building capacity in any area of your life, start now. Because chance will definitely come. And our Father has told us the pains of regret far outweighs the pain of what? Of discipline. Thank you. So that we won't come into tomorrow or come and bump into a chance, an opportunity, and we begin to regret. And we begin to cry. That kind of crying is far painful. It's far, far, far painful than the pain of discipline. So discipline, we must begin to discipline ourselves to be able to build capacity. Nobody builds capacity without discipline. It is discipline that will help you build capacity. And I believe God will help us in the name of Jesus. Let's rise to our feet.